All right, everyone knows Johnny Young Bosch, former Black Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers season, going on to become a phenomenal voice actor in the anime Spear. He has a interesting story about a time that he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
You're part of my life. You are part of my life. You know, so
Yes. That's so true about creativity. And I wonder I don't want to get dark either. I wonder what drives us to keep creating. Like,
I don't know.
do we go into childhood trauma now? Like, are we ready
childhood
for this?
trauma? Oh my goodness. I mean,
But I love.
I'll throw it out. I was kidnapped when I was younger, and that's
Really?
enough to let you think. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Really? Can you talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's not talk about it then. Oh my
I'll just
God.
say I was tied to a string and tortured with my friend, and then that was we were lucky to get out of there and be alive.
So then, from the experiences you've had.
Now, she's professional, she pivoted, but how many people knew that he was actually tied to a tree and tortured? Well, I can't find this interview, but someone on Reddit said, random interesting fact I learned a few months ago when he did a virtual con panel. Johnny Young Bosch was asked to say a random interesting fact about himself and admitted as a child he was kidnapped and held for ransom. Dude has a tragic backstory, mixed race parents, and lived in multiple countries, and then learned martial arts to do his own stunts and mocap. Mother Effort is good at voicing anime characters because he is one. God damn, Johnny! All right, so when it comes to these allegations, it literally starts with Vic Mignogna, I believe, the Dragon Ball voice actor, loses his appeal after his harassment, defamation case came to light. He brought up a case against the two women who accused him of harassment. In January 2019, he was accused of sexual misconduct against Mignogna came to head following the premiere of his film Dragon Ball Super Broly. The voice actor quickly denied any allegations, as most people would, or sexual harassment. My heart weeps for anyone who endures these violations. So kind accused harming others in this way. I have no words, he posted on Twitter. But my fellow, the following month, Roster Teeth, the production company, cut ties with them and removed him from the cast of RWBY, an anime-style web show. Funimation, an entertainment company, also conducted an internet investigation and fired Mignogna by early 2019. Several conventions also canceled his appearances. And I know everyone is looking around like, what the hell does this have to do with Johnny Young Bosch? Well, it plays a significant role because, you know, these women came out against Vic and spoke and showed their story. And as a result, Vic Mignogna single-handedly lost his career. Well, not only did these allegations in the time of the Me Too movement, they eventually came across to Johnny Young Bosch. I mean, Vic Mignogna put out a statement, but, you know, it fell on deaf ears by and large because he said, you know, I sincerely apologize to any staff member who felt I was anything less than kind and grateful to be included in their event. Unknown to most staffers, contractual arrangements made in advance with cons were occasionally not honored when I arrived. That made me frustrated, and that does not excuse me making anyone feel badly or deeply sorry. You know, he was on a spiral, man, but, you know, they were accusing of him being homophobic, anti-Semitic. Pretty much every allegation under the sun came through, and with the women's compelling stories, it kind of was the icing on the cake. But like I said, what does this have to do with Johnny Young Bosch? Well, eventually, these allegations came for Johnny Young Bosch, where Mr. Doorknob, recently he came out, this all happened in 2019 in the whole Me Too era, and said, hey, he heard some weird stuff about Johnny Young Bosch. And, you know, he says, look, I guess I set off some fans with this tweet, so I figured I'd clarify. One of the female hosts who worked with Johnny Young Bosch on the old anime TV podcast web show he hosted complained that he would make her wear short skirts, revealing outfits to bring in views, even though she didn't want to. Now, how did Johnny Young Bosch handle these allegations in the era of the whole Me Too movement? Did he A, just ignore them? Did he B, deny them? No, he tackled these shits head on, called this person out, Because here's the thing, with these allegations back then, your career could be over with a tweet. And he says, total BS. I was cast as a host and had nothing to do with wardrobe for others. Just ask those in charge of the show over at Bang Zoom. This is a complete lie and the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Ever heard. In fact, he keeps on. In fact, you can ask any female that was on the show, but I imagine whoever you're talking about doesn't exist. So what other story do you have? Oh, I got one, but it's about your mother. So it could be a rumor. Like, oh, look,
that's a truthful statement.
Guys, when in the heat of the moment, when you have false allegations against you so serious, lawyers would tell you not to react, not to respond, especially you're not going to win the court of public opinion over the internet. However, maybe it was Johnny Young Bosch swift response that kept him from getting sucked into this whole Vic Mignogna harassment drama, where basically everyone was getting accused of this Me Too or, being creeps or being, horrible to women on set. Johnny Young Bosch did not sit back with his, his hands on his head, just head in the sand, thinking this shit was going to blow over. He handled it like a professional. I don't know if he was media trained or maybe he was off the cuff with it. Okay, so he makes the joke about the mother, and then he says, "Boom, look, the only one I'm harassing is you because I'm calling you out. Go to IMDb and look up every female from anime TV. Tell me who've said this. Go ahead, dork knob or doorknob. Let's hear it. You can't." And oftentimes what happens when you get these people who make up these completely unfounded allegations is when you say, hey, we'll prove it, they go silent. They go away. They stop talking. They don't respond. Hell, they may even block you for responding to their allegations. Like, oh, what you thought you were supposed to just make up this completely unfounded allegation and I was just going to sit by and not say anything. Well, that's exactly what Dork Knob did. Okay. And someone pointed out that him is a social justice boogeyman and taking a mental health break due to harassment from stans from creeps. Now, it's noted that Vic Mignogna was considered to be a creep, and him trying to lament that, hey, that Johnny Young Bosch too also is a creep. But you see this, hey, look at this. One person, one follower joined literally a month or two, was it September 29th, a couple months before they made the allegations. And this is how sensitive the whole world was back in the day when it came to these Me Too movements, that literally a brand new account could make up an allegation with one follower, following one person and one follower, which was likely probably their main account, because what happens on the internet is people like to talk from anonymity. They don't want to put their face out. They don't want to, show who they are. They want to, hey, I'm going to put out this defaming tweet, in my opinion, this defaming allegation against Johnny Young Bosch, and I'm going to just let it there and see what happens. But luckily, Johnny Young Bosch responded, and it keeps going, right? It keeps going, and then bam. Now, Johnny Young Bosch put the nice icing on the coffin, the nail in the coffin. Hey, hope to see a few of you at Yamacon, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And someone said, hey, you'll see me whether you like it or not, working on my awkward hug now. Now, Johnny Young Bosch would say, hey, I only accept awkward hugs, so you're good. Now, this would be, you can say this is a slight maybe at Vic Mignogna, who was accused of having awkward hugs. Like the statements that these women put out really destroyed his career. And along with the investigations that, his partners did where they start cutting ties. And this easily could have been Johnny Young Bosch. It literally could have been this guy, but he reacted the proper way. And one, dispelled them. Two, said show proof. And next thing you know, his career goes on, and there's no other people coming out against Johnny Young Bosch with these false allegations. Now, the most interesting part about it is, what do you think he was going to do? You thought he's been fucking kidnapped and tortured. Okay. He's had a tough life. So people saying little bullshit on the internet, I don't think it was going to phase him, or nor that was he going to let that shit slide. But these were the real allegations against Vic Mignogna versus the false allegations against Johnny Young Bosch, doing what he needed to do to secure his role. But guys, I really need your help. If you can do me a favor and find the kidnap story. I've checked news articles, I've checked everything, I've checked Reddit boards. I've only been able to find 2 posts of it, but the false allegations against him made about him and other females, like, look, I can find that everywhere. But, what did you guys think about Johnny Young Bosch defending not only his name, his honor, his reputation against Mr. Doorknob, who tried to literally come for his career with one tweet? Like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. So happy we've come a long way from the believe all tweets. But if you ever get an interview with Johnny Young Bosch, I think this would be a great conversation to ask him about, because it's a little bit more juicier than the, hey, how was it working on Power Rangers? But let me know what you thought of the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.